South Dakota, Alabama. I'm waiting, Kate. I'm waiting. You said that you were a pro at capitals.
Oh, South Dakota is Pierre.
Okay, Alabama.
Is it Montgomery?
It is.
You
snuck that in just under the wire.
Before I even said one.
You took too long. This is rat-tat-tat quick-fire rules. Okay, Kentucky.
Kentucky is Frankfort.
Yep. Michigan.
Lansing.
Maine.
Concord.
Incorrect.
Oh, Augusta.
Sorry.
Concord is New Hampshire, isn't it?
I don't know. I picked out the ones that I thought would be the hardest. Here's my last one. Nevada.
Carson City, dog.
Yeah, duh. I should have known that. I mean, you lived around there. I mean, wait. No, you didn't. You've never lived anywhere near.
I lived in Vegas. Yeah, let's go
with that. I don't know about you. Okay.
You're talking about I lived over there because I worked at Area 51 with my top government clearance.
Of course. That's exactly what I was referring to, Kate.
Attention shoppers. We've got to clean up on Aisle H.
What do the other wolves think?
A true crime cleanup on Aisle H.
Diabolical.
Starting now.
No, he's telling you that she's bats.
Howdy, Holtheads. Kurt Money here, alongside my co-host,
Kateline.
We're back to the Dateline well tonight. Kate was watching it, and she said, I don't know. This sounds coverable. So here we are. We're back. How you feeling about it, Kate?
So I was watching this one, and Jillionaire was in the room, and she'd already seen it. And boy, did she just love that she had already seen it. Oh, I know this one. Oh, and then she'd not really give me spoilers, but she was just so proud that she knew it.
That's funny. I didn't know. So this originally aired in 2023 as Along Came Sarah. This one is called The Trouble with Sarah. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that I had seen it until certain doorbell footage was played. And I was like, oh, I remember this.
You know, I didn't know that I had seen it until certain people popped up. And I was like, I know this woman.
Yeah.
I've seen her before. But I don't know why this didn't stick with me a couple years ago. Because it is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, this lady we're about to talk about, she's not quite Mommy and Clyde status, but she wants to be. I feel like she has her own desire to be breaking the law at every chance she can get.
She can't just be...
Live.
She can't just be normal.
Yeah.
She can't just live on the up and up. Everything's got to be
Yeah.
some kind of scam.
And it's like she's either sleeping around on someone or refusing to break up with somebody. I feel like it's like, what do you want?
Totally.
You're always two-timing.
Because even if she wants to break up with someone, she doesn't want them ever move on.
Oh, yeah. No. Boy, some great cases of that, too. Okay. So before I read the... well, I don't need to get your thoughts on the show. We're aware that you like Dateline. So I could skip that part.
I think that's been made pretty clear at this point.
Yeah. So here is the IMDb description. The suspicious death of Sarah Hartsfield's fifth husband leads investigators to a past filled with failed romances and wild allegations. I'd say that's accurate. And what's interesting, I would say every single one of those allegations was true.
Every single one. Even the ones they didn't know about and they found out about later.
Yeah. Even the ones that they drop in the last breath of the show.
Yes. The last 30 seconds. Oh, and by the way, this, and this.
And it's like, what? Yeah, totally. Okay. All right, let's dive in.
Here's Keith Morrison with The Trouble with Sarah.
Our story begins January of 2023. Interesting. Here's a little tidbit that only Kurt, the editor, would maybe find interesting. Keith does not say the year. He says it was early January. And you know why? Because this originally aired in April of 2023.
Oh, so they're referencing that exact year.
Yeah. So you wouldn't say the year if it's in the year you're in. Interesting.
Okay.
Good, honey.
Anyway, this is Chambers County, Texas. We get a 911 call, and I forget what last time we had this, but this is another chill 911, is it not?
So this is a 911 call from Sarah herself.
Sarah Hartsfield, about her husband, Joe.
He's diabetic, and she's saying that he's having some kind of insulin spike or like a diabetic coma.
My husband husband is diabetic. He's breathing, but he's not responsive. I can't get him to wake up.
And it sounds like she's chill because maybe this has happened. He's had these kind of problems before. Also, she had just woken up, so she's kind of like, huh, what? And there's nothing alarming about this 911 call. It sounds pretty run-of-the-mill, like, okay, we've got a diabetic patient who needs sugar water.
Yeah, sugar water. Right?
Yes.
The doctors and nurses gave him sugar water through an IV.
Every time I said sugar water, I was thinking of us talking about Vincent D'Onofrio.
Sugar in water.
Sugar water.
Wait, one thing I forgot. This did open with, we can assume, was a phone call from jail. Discussion between a mom and daughter. That was a nice little tease.
You're my child, but I also thought you were my friend.
I liked it because we know from the jump that Sarah is the villain. And Sarah is the one who's done lots of terrible things this whole episode. So it's not like a spoiler or anything. No. It's like we know going in this is going to be about how diabolical she is. So hearing her prison phone call, it's like it sets up where we know we're going to end up.
I just need to know if you're behind me or not. Are you?
And what's funny is, I mean, this is a little tease for later, but Sarah, I'm shocked she even had to ask that question. I could answer it. Ashley's not on your side, in case you don't know that by now, Sarah.
Because of all the stuff that Ashley does throughout her life? Yes.
It's like, Sarah, you are delusional if you think you have any hope with Ashley. Okay, I guess an ambulance comes out, rushes him to the hospital. This was cool. One of the medical staff slips away and calls the police up.
One of the medical staff slipped away and made a phone call to the Chambers County Sheriff's Office.
He wasn't responding to how they would usually treat this kind of thing. It was almost like he had been given too much insulin intentionally. That was how they felt like his symptoms appeared to be.
They do specifically say later that his insulin levels were too high, but I kind of liked in this moment where they didn't really say it outright. So here, I got a question for Kate. Who on the cast of The Pit would be calling the cops right away and say, insulin spike, get your ass over here, coppers? Who on The Pit would be making that call?
Easy. What's her name?
What's
her name? Chin.
Wait, you mean Santos?
Yeah.
My guess that was my first thought, but my official guess would be McKay, I think. I think McKay would do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, you could just tell me what the hell's going on here.
Anyway, so they come and the cops show up, and we've got body cam footage of them interviewing Sarah at the hospital, right?
Yes.
And she's all trying to be broken up and stuff, and already I hate her guts because when she's trying to be all... I knew where she was going with this, too, when she started it, when she was like, and I fed him his favorite food, and I knew something was up because, Joe loves food. Joe loves food. I was like, don't be trying to be like funny wife, like my husband loves my food lady right now, okay?
Or like fat shaming your husband.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to finish eating it, which is weird because Joe loves food.
And then she says, and I fell asleep because I was on pain meds myself. And his blood sugar alarm kept going off, and she gave him OJ, went back to bed. And Keith does a nice, fun little plant. He says, remember this about the OJ. He does this twice in this episode, doesn't he?
Yeah. And I'm like,
this is the first one. I said,
take my pen and write that down.
Yeah. Thanks, Keith.
You'll probably want to remember that little story about the orange juice.
This is where the fun starts. Family shows up. They've got a family member on his deathbed, supposedly. And what's the problem?
She won't let any family members near him to say their goodbyes or to check in. Nothing.
They're not allowed in the room.
They're not allowed. She won't let them in.
It's a ballsy move to be like, no, you can't come in and see your, like,
he's dying.
The only family member I would say that to is someone who was convicted of like sexually abusing them as a child. I feel like no matter what else, even if it's like a long lost deadbeat dad, I would be at the door going, you're not allowed to see him.
Totally. Yeah.
This is crazy. It was crazy.
This was strange. Sarah wouldn't let them into Joe's hospital room.
So the cops show up and a rookie detective shows up. Now, I got a lot of thoughts on this detective. Let's start first off with her name.
Amazing name. This is like the name of a cop on like a CBS procedural.
Yeah, her name is Skylar Rocks. Now, I Googled this. It's Rocks, R-O-C-K-S. It's not like it's,
not R-O-X.
R-O-X. That's what I was thinking. Maybe it would be R-O-X.
Or like R-O-X-X.
That'd be dope.
And she had been a detective for all of 6 weeks. A young female rookie in a man's world.
And I love, it gave us some classic old school Dateline awkward ass B-roll walking when they're introducing her walking from her car to the hospital, right? I was like, oh, this is like the good old days.
Yeah.
'Cause she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it one
she's
bit.
like, this is dumb. Can we just get to the interview?
Yeah, and I could, honestly, maybe because I was just watching 30 Rock, but when they show her walking into the building, I was thinking of Jack being like, do you walk like this with one arm with this leg or the other, right?
Totally.
It's weird. What do I do with my arms? I've never thought about that before. Is it this?
And she does this little arm roll when she gets out of her car, where I was like, oh, man. Anyway, she's cool and I like her. She is not as cool as her name would imply. Don't you think she's a little bit against type for her name? Not in a bad way.
She is a cop.
True. That's true. She did say that she was like an alpha and stuff. I don't know if I saw that.
Well, I think you have to be a cop.
I mean, in law enforcement, we all kind of have type A personalities, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Skylar talks to Sarah, and they actually go back to Sarah's house, to the bedroom.
To the scene of the crime.
To get the scoop there. Now, before they go back there, though, Skylar takes a minute with Joe's sister, who showed up and is upset because she can't friggin' talk to her dying brother. Mm-hmm. And this is when we hear that according to this sister, they were going to get divorced. Joe hated her. He was on his way out. And she was like, I warned him that he needed to like get a new bank account, do all this stuff. And he had started that process 9 days before this happened.
And she took me back in this little room and I spilled it all.
So now Skylar goes back to the scene of the crime with Sarah and asks her about it casually. And Sarah's like, oh no, we were like totally in love and awesome.
We had no conversations about that. We were great.
Yeah. The only conversation we had was how we're going to go low contact or no contact with his family.
Joe and I made the decision together to sever ties for a while and kind of go low contact, no contact.
I thought that was funny. I thought it was a real buzzword way of putting it.
And Skylar,
no contact.
She's not buying it. She actually didn't buy anything that Sarah ever said to her, ever.
No. She
when
is
everyone else was
jump.
like, this is pretty clean, pretty clear cut, like,
yeah,
it's fine. She's like, nah.
Yeah, she's not buying it, which is pretty cool because she is brand new on the force. Mm-hmm. But wait, hang on. We're not there yet. I got to spend more time in this room because we got to take a minute. One, there were 8 to 10 used insulin pens. And so Skylar was like, what's up with this? And she's like, oh yeah, he used those, whatever. Now, do you know what I'm about to call out about this bedroom that I don't care for one bit?
Would that be what is written above the bed, Kurt?
Boo, boo, boo! Bingo, Kate. Do you remember what it's...
Don't forget to kiss me goodnight.
It said, always kiss me goodnight.
In that awful, scripty font that I absolutely hate.
Same, bro. I feel like we might have listeners that have some of that. And so if that's the case, I apologize. That's just not my style. And it bugs me. And they had one in the kitchen, too, that said gather. And I was like,
oh, yeah, gather. Gather's classic.
Yeah. Always kiss me goodnight. That would bug me.
And remember, we haven't gotten to that point yet, but we talked to one of Sarah's friends and she talks about what an incredible interior decorator Sarah was.
Oh, yes. She was very talented. Oh, did you not think so, Kate? Were you not feeling Sarah's taste?
No.
A beautiful home. She could have been an interior designer. She could have been an architect. She could have been a landscape artist.
God, honestly, I'd not want to make eye contact with that font on the wall while we were boinking because I feel like it'd take me out of it. I'd be like,
instant boner killer.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to do that anyway. I don't need you to remind me.
I have a rule that I won't patron a store or a restaurant or anything that uses that font in their logo.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
That's a good move. It's so funny how everybody agreed on it because it's not like that's owned by someone and those are all their words. Like, I feel like this is just a font that's available and people with bad taste who like to print words out on walls keep picking it.
Uh-huh. And it's not just walls. Anything. Stationery.
It's frames.
Cards.
Mirrors.
Journals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No.
So, Skylar, she's... As Keith says, even though she's a rookie detective, she felt in her gut there was something up.
Though she hadn't been a detective for long, Rox's gut told her something was fishy about her conversations with Sarah.
She goes back to headquarters and goes to her higher-ups. It's like, we got to look more into this. And what are they? They're classic dummy dudes in power,
They're
right?
Like,
They're like,
fine.
oh, it's not weird.
It's just whatever.
Yeah, they said, just forget it. Just forget it.
See, all the men in this episode turned their head and looked the other way.
Yeah.
And it took a bunch of women to crack the case.
Yeah.
Let it go, they told her.
There wasn't enough evidence, and I could be beating a dead horse, so to say.
But she says, no, I'm looking into it. So now she goes to her little database, plugs in Sarah Hartsfield. And this is where it begins, right? Because she sees 5 different versions of her. She's like, why does she have all these aliases? They're not aliases. Turns out she's been married 5 freaking times.
And each marriage comes with some kind of laundry list of police reports.
Yes.
And sketchy ass crimes.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to get the backstory on Sarah Hartsfield. Now, I'm not going to blame Keith because there are 5 husbands with 5 backstories to talk about. But the first thing he tells us about Sarah's childhood is, I need a billion more things about it.
They brush over it so fast.
So she was born in 1975 and she had a rough childhood, which we'll talk about. But the first thing they mention is that she had a brother who died at the age of 10. Do you remember how he was found? Do you remember this?
Hanging?
His body was found hanging from a dog leash that was suspended from a stairwell. Oh, what?
Yeah.
The cops said it was an accident. How? Dear cops, how could this be an accident? I mean, because the dog leash has to be tied to the stairwell and then someone has to put the dog leash around the kid's neck. So how is there a way for this to make sense? Could that have been an accident?
We need more details.
Didn't that floor you? I mean, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. They even show his gravestone. And now I did the math there. If he died in 90, she was 15 and she was already at a foster home. So she wasn't living at home when it happened. So I guess we can't pin it on her. You agree something happened to that brother, right?
Yeah.
Sarah did suffer sexual abuse at age 3. Her mom finds this out, kicks the husband out, gets remarried, and then Sarah accuses the stepdad of sexual abuse, and it goes to trial and stuff. Do you remember this? Do you remember what the outcome of the trial is?
He was acquitted.
Right. Now, so what are you making of this? Do you think...
I unfortunately think this is where her lies began.
Okay.
I think...
You think even the first one?
I don't know about the first one. That could have been real.
Yeah.
But this just feels like she learned that she could say whatever she wanted to get what she wanted.
Yeah, because she was probably like... I mean, God, I would hate that if she was lying about it at 3. I mean, talk about diabolical.
That's a little too young.
But I bet with this stepdad, she's like, last time I did this, that dad was out of my life forever, so I'll say it again.
Yeah.
About the stepdad. Boom. But yeah, he's acquitted. And this was crazy. At 11, she goes to live with foster parents. Not because her parents died or anything. Her mom was like straight up, I cannot handle her.
And I don't blame her one bit.
Her mother brought into child services and basically dumped off and said, I can't handle her.
Drop her off at... You know what this reminds me of is the Scottish orphan. Had the same sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where people were like, we don't want him. You take him.
Yeah.
Okay, she goes to live with foster parents. We talked to the foster mom. I kind of liked her style. She was cool. She said she was a handful. She lied all the time. And this is when, in high school, Sarah meets her first husband, Titus. They get married at 18, right out of high school. And Keith called him a sitting duck. Now, that's not a duck-a-muck for me, my long-lost segment, because that's usually when they say odd duck. But Keith does call him a sitting duck here, which I thought was pretty damn funny.
Titus Knertschold was a sitting duck for Sarah's methods.
So Titus joins the army a month after they get married. And then poor guy comes home. And what do several people tell him? What do several people come up to his face and tell him when he gets home, Kate?
That his wife's been running around on him.
With them! He goes, several people came up and said they were having affairs with my wife. I'm like, Titus, dude, what? What do you mean?
But think about it. These are children. They're like 19.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I actually had several people come up to me and tell me they were having affairs with her.
It would be rough if one person did. 2 would be brutal, but when you say several, that means at least 3 people said, Titus, my man, bad news. I've been boning your wife. I mean, this poor guy. So he's like, okay, I'm out of here. Divorces her. He thinks that's it. And this was one of many great Keith lines of the night. Okay. Keith goes, that's only true if your opponent leaves the field.
Oh.
That's the only time when it's game over. That's good, right?
Okay.
Pretty good.
All right, Keith.
Pretty good.
I figured I was out of it. Game over.
But that's only true if your opponent leaves the field.
So he starts dating this new girl who is his now wife, and we talked to them. Now, what kind of stories did the GF have to say about good old Sarah, who again was They're divorced now. It's official. She's boning all his friends left and right. So you'd think she'd be like, good, I'm in the clear. Wrong.
Wrong. She didn't want him to be able to move on. So she starts terrorizing the wife.
Yeah, putting laundry detergent in her gas tank, flat tires. And this was crazy. They must have heard something splashing. They go outside of their house and it's covered in gasoline and they see Sarah's ass cartoon running out of there, right?
There was gasoline splashed all over the front of the house.
This was fascinating to me as they go to the police. And what do the police say?
Well, it either is arson or it isn't. And they're like, oh, so I guess attempted arson isn't a thing? It absolutely is. I don't know what these police were thinking. You can't dump gasoline on someone's house and walk away and it's just, okay, whatever.
I guess I assumed attempted arson is a thing. It has to be, right?
It has to be.
It's gotta be.
Just because it doesn't actually set on fire doesn't mean that you didn't try to set it on fire.
Yeah, and if she just straight up dumped lighter fluid and gasoline on the house, like that is so clearly, you have no other intention than to light this on fire and hurt something.
If they hadn't caught her, she would have lit it up.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's bonkers. So, look, it's a he said, she said thing. So, like, there's nothing we could do about it.
Apparently, there's no such thing as attempted arson.
Really, cops? Okay.
I think it's a different time now because now we have Ring cameras and you can, like, sue an Amazon employee if they drop your package a certain way, you know? So.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. God, you know what? Later, Ring Cam is going to come into play.
Mm-hmm.
If Ring Cam was around then, you're right, then maybe her reign would have been ended sooner because almost all of her shit happens at the house and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So a Ring Cam would have solved a bunch of this. Okay, so Sarah finally leaves him alone and marries his friend. Marries a friend of Titus's, okay? Then she decides to join the military. This is at 22. While she's married to this guy, she meets another dude, Chris, in the army. Comes back home, is pregnant by this Chris guy, and says to her husband number 2, sorry, you got to get out of here so I can marry husband number 3.
Insane. Does she know that you don't have to marry every single person you date?
Yeah, especially when you want to be mixing it up as much as she does.
Right.
Like, Sarah, you don't need to go through that process. You could just be dating and having kids if you want. But she straight up marries him. And so she's 22 on her third husband and now has 2 young kids, which is probably about 25 when that happens. And this is probably the longest relationship that she has, right? Because we're going to talk to Sarah's children who are like teens and stuff now. And I feel like this is the dad of those kids. And they were probably together a decade or something. In 2005, she insisted that her dad move in with them. The dad that she had accused of molesting her as a child. And she says, well, somebody's got to take care of him. And then what happens 3 days after he moves in?
He dies right in front of Ashley.
Yeah. When she was 6.
He was at our house for like 2 or 3 days. And he died right in front of me.
He died right in front of you?
Yeah, like he grabbed his chest like this and...
Just died.
Like, yeah.
I'm going to say it right now, Holtheads, and you'll understand why as we go through it. Ashley, this daughter, all-star of the episode, hands down. What do you think?
Yes, but there's someone else in the running for me.
Ooh, okay, save it. But Ashley, boy, she gets up to some stuff, I feel. She does some good work trying to take down her mother. Yeah, and maybe I'm thinking of it because there's another Ashley that was the kid of someone that, I hate with all my passion that I think about still 3 years later now, and I still think about her.
Ashley Howard.
I'm sorry, what?
So when there's a good Ashley, I feel like I'm really on it. Like, woohoo! Okay, so both her and her husband get called to Iraq in 2007. Kids go to stay with foster mom Barbara. That was interesting. So her mom was truly out of the picture by then. Now this foster mom is grandma and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And she tells us that Sarah wanted those kids to be like little soldiers in the house, saying yes ma'am, no ma'am, lining up for everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, this is grandma's house. You guys get to be kids.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. And she was like, yeah, Sarah didn't like that. But I'm with her, like roll my eyes. Like, I get it. You're like in Iraq right now calling us on your sat phone or whatever, but this is grandma's house. My rules. So she was pissed about that. And the biggest rule we find out from the kids is what happens in the house stays in the house.
Red flag.
Big temper, abusive. And when Ryan was 10, this was so... He did something where he broke something off the wall on a rental property. And do you remember what her punishment was?
Didn't she beat the out of him?
Yeah, she beat him with a belt. And then once like the belt, I don't know if the buckle fell off or she dropped it, she went to fists, punching him in the face. And he was bruised head to toe and missed a week of school.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Nope. And this was when Ashley talks about the time she threatened to call CPS. And this is a great little Keith VO they added in the edit where he goes, CPS, Child Protective Services.
Thanks, Keith.
Right.
We weren't sure.
Yeah.
I told her I was going to call CPS.
That would be Child Protective Services.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he what he would say to us right now, he's like, this is why I ask him about Bolo and stuff in the moment, so we don't have to do awkward-ass VO like this. What do you think? Maybe. I mean, yeah, context clues. We're talking about abusive mom, and she doesn't want her daughter to call CPS. We could probably figure it out.
We could probably use context clues on that one, Keith.
Yeah. And actually, so she then beat the shit out of her daughter, Ashley, for threatening to call CPS. Ashley does not call CPS, but Ashley's friend's dad does.
Sure, because
calls like the police, and
she's hanging out with her friend and she's covered in welts and bruises too.
They show the reports like she may have had like broken fingers and stuff, but Ashley's afraid of what her mom will do, so she lies and says, no, it's okay, we're fine. No charges are pressed or anything. Sarah, of course, denies it ever happened. I like that Keith pops in. Every time we hear something horrible about Sarah, he'll be like, and of course, Sarah denies it.
Sarah told us it wasn't true.
Sarah told us she never beat any of her children.
Yeah, and the reveal of later about how she was communicating with them was a first for us. I was kind of cracking up at that. Text messages from jail, Kate. Remember? Have you ever seen that? It's 25 cents a message and stuff. That was crazy to me. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, flash forward to 2014. Sarah and Chris built this big old house, but money was tight. 3 months after they built this house, Sarah gets called that her grandma died, and she rushes off to Missouri because she's like, ooh, will time. Like, finally I'm going to get some money I can help pay off my house.
Uh-huh. And they tried to say, oh, she owed $200,000 on her house. And I'm thinking, that's a normal amount to owe on a house. That's not like a huge debt. When it comes to homeowning, that's normal. If she just bought it, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Good point. Maybe they couldn't even do the payments straight up.
I mean, she's only in her 20s, right?
2014. She's in her 30s by now, I believe, but early 30s. So, because she's 48 when she gets arrested, and that was 2023. So she rushes off to Missouri, and this is where we meet one poor sap named Cody Lee Smith. Now, Kate, what did you think of poor Cody? Keith set him up as such a loser from the jump, I thought.
You can't watch Sarah's long-suffering older brother, Cody Lee Smith, amble about his land in Missouri and not be reminded of Job.
Do you remember this? Keith is like, no phone, no internet, life sucks for Cody Lee.
Living alone in a single wide, no car, no internet. The family farm, long gone.
I feel like almost every man in this was a sad sack. It's hard to keep them straight.
A little bit. I would say one of them, the Steelers fan, and I know that because he wore Steelers merch for the Dateline interview. He was okay in my book, but this poor Cody guy. Now, this is where it begins, Kate, with people that look like celebs. This was first of 3.
Okay.
Do you know who I'm going to say? You know who I'm going to say here?
No.
Now, he's chubby and stuff, but maybe it's also with the way he talked. Gary Sinise.
Oh.
Straight up Gary Sinise, this guy.
Interesting.
Nothing?
I did not put that together.
It just became more or less a screaming match. She said she was going to fight me for the house and the land and everything.
So he tells this poor story about where Sarah shows up thinking that she's going to get money, or like the grandma died, and so there's like a farm property and stuff. This was going to Cody and his wife because they had lived on the farm and taken care of it.
It was theirs.
Yeah, he lived there and stuff, and she's super pissed and is like, So she just she leaves, comes back with like a truck and other people, and just starts taking stuff from the house. And this is where I think Keith really zeroed in on the sad sack part, is because poor Cody Lee goes, just let her take whatever she wants, and then hopefully she'll be out of her life forever.
That didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Sorry, Cody.
Wishful thinking. Well, she...
Yeah, that's what he says.
Wishful thinking?
I want to say it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. When I got up, I smelled smoke.
She burned the house down. People in it.
Yeah.
Including a child.
Yes. At 2 a.m. that night, the house is on frickin' fire. Now, this was another part where I was like, few more deets, please, because Cody Lee and his wife are in there, I assume, but also his nephew, his 10-year-old nephew, is in the house. And so the fire starts. Cody Lee runs out of the burning house, runs down the street to his brother's house and says, hey, your kid is in my house and it's on fire right now. And then Xander's dad runs down and comes and gets him out of the fire.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy, right? I mean, look, the kid was saved, but if I was that dad,
why didn't you get him out?
Yeah, I was like, why are you not in the fire then right now, dude? That'd be my next question.
And somehow grabbed a hold of something that he thought was him and grabbed him and jerked him, and then out he came.
Sarah calls the next day trying to be like, oh my God, I heard what happened. I'm so sorry. And then he says, yeah, Xander's fine too. And instead of saying like, oh good, I'm so glad, she's like, why was Xander there?
Yeah.
Not, I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Yeah. Not, why are you accusing me of murder? Nope.
Not, what are you talking about? Not, I would never try to kill you, you know?
Okay, now this was interesting. Fire marshal found poison ivy by the starting point of the fire. And who had poison ivy on their face?
Sarah.
Now this is where I guess we've just got to chalk it up to, she was supposedly very easy to talk to, and she was totally had some sort of charm because she talks her way out of stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. This is the second arson. The first one was attempted. This one is full blown, and she's just getting away with it.
Yeah, and that poison ivy thing to me sounds enough of a clue to keep looking into it.
But if these cops that interview her are men, they are just so weak when it comes to her. Like, they're just putty in her hands.
Which is weird, right?
It's weird.
Don't you always want to be a fly in the wall for one of those moments when they talk about people like this? Because I just go like, how's she talking you into this? She's got poison ivy on her face and stuff, and she smells like she's been at a campfire all weekend. It's you're not suspicious to this lady at all?
The thing is, she is very pretty, and I think we don't know what these cops look like, but with all the rest of the men that she manipulates, they are very gullible and powerless when it comes to a woman who is out of their league showing them any kind of attention.
That's true.
So the thing here is, the lesson is that you have to understand what league you are in. And if someone from another one tries to play ball, you have to recognize that that is a scam.
Yeah, they're honeypotting you.
They are honeypotting you, or there's something nefarious going on.
Yeah.
But these men get so flattered that they're just like, oh man, a pretty lady and she likes me? It's like, no, dude, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. And she's so cocky. So there's no charges. She stays in town. She still has her husband, Chris, in Minnesota or some shit. She starts dating a guy named Brian here in Missouri. Now, this was another guy between voice and face, and his name was friggin' Brian Posehn, this guy, a little bit. This was the Steelers guy.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
And this guy I f***ing loved. This guy was so good because he's talking about like, oh, there's something about her. She's so great. And this is what Keith goes. What was it about her?
Was she attractive? Was she good in bed? Was she enticing? Was she...
She was very attractive. Yes to pretty much about everything I think you just said.
Whoa.
It's insane what men will do for some good...
Yeah. What do you think? I'm probably going to bleep.
Yeah.
What do you think? Okay. I was dying when he said that because that's what we're all thinking. Like, what magic did she freaking have? This is great, though. This guy, Brian, is describing how evil she is. And this is when he goes, she's basically the devil's daughter, if you ask me.
Basically the devil's daughter, if you ask me.
And you know what I'm thinking here, Kate? What am I thinking of right now with that phrase? Episode title!
Oh, yeah.
No good?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's a lot more clever than The Trouble with Sarah.
Yeah, and it's funny how it was originally called Along Came Sarah. They're both kind of the same, but they love taking a quote from the app. So they've got, again, this is while her husband Chris is in another state still married. They're having fights. They've got restraining orders on each other.
Then all of a sudden she's like, I'm pregnant. And he's like, no, you're not.
This is why I think this is the one guy who's not a sad sack, because he said, no, that's not legit. Like, he sniffed it out. He said, oh, really? He goes, okay, Sarah, come over to my place with the pregnancy test and take one in front of me. She refused.
She wouldn't do it.
She wouldn't do it. And so it's like, all right, well, it's over.
And I'm like, nah, this ain't legit.
So props to Brian for that. This was crazy to me. So they decide to go their separate ways. But Sarah says, ooh, you know what? Before I go, is it cool if I use your bathroom real quick? And this is where he slips up and says, go for it. This is a big mistake. And I think this is a good time, Kate. I don't think you should ever let anyone use your bathroom if you're in a TV show, or in this case, dating a crazy lady. What do you think? It's never good. It's never, anytime when cops come over to interview somebody and they're like, can I use your bathroom real quick? No, you can't.
They're going to take your hair.
You can't use my bathroom.
They're going to take your hair.
Yeah.
They're going to take your Q-tips.
Yes.
Next thing you know, you're wanted for murder.
Yeah, exactly. But so she goes to the bathroom and he goes to a bar to get ripped. I thought that was pretty funny too. Because he's like, then I go to a bar for some drinks.
Let yourself out. I'm out of here.
Yeah. 40 minutes later, he gets a call that says, your house is on fire, dude. Goes back there. It's on fire. Now they saved the house, but he said he had a funny way of saying it, but they had to
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it
talking
was
about?
Concentrated in the bedroom, I assume where the bathroom was. And yeah. He said it was concentrated just in one room, but the smoke damage, it was a gut job. They had to renovate the rest of the house anyway.
Yeah, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I just, look, hindsight's 20/20. I just keep thinking like, dude, you were so smart about the pregnancy. Why'd you let her go to the bathroom?
She might have just tried to burn it down even if he hadn't. She'd just come back later.
Yeah, that's true. And Sarah calls up and says, oh, Brian, I'm so sorry about the fire. You know, it was probably one of your relatives that did it.
And he's like, no, it's probably you.
Lady.
It was probably you, though.
Yeah. And this was another part where Keith says, and Sarah told Dateline that she didn't do it.
Sure.
Another part where...
And she told us she had nothing to do with it.
Brian feels he dodged a bullet. Absolutely.
Kind of.
Next guy.
But he had to renovate his whole house.
You're right. You're right. He didn't really dodge a bullet. It's like he got hit by the bullet but survived.
Yeah.
Right?
Although someone else did get hit by bullets.
That's right. And that's where we talk about the next guy on her list. Summer 2016. She meets new man David Bragg. We talked to Doris, David's mom. This is my third and final celeb, Kate. Now, you said you had one too. Have we not gotten to the person yet that you said reminded you of a celeb?
I'm still trying to figure out who mine are. I thought that they would overlap and you would have figured it out for me, but you have totally different ones than me.
Now, this is the one where I thought that we would overlap on. Not so much in looks, more vibe, hairstyle, and the way she talked. This old lady with the short hair, Elaine Stritch. Straight up.
Yes.
Jack's mom.
Yes.
She walked in the room. He turned around and saw her and went, wow.
That is who I was thinking.
I knew it.
I love that it's Jack's mom.
Yeah. Yeah. She had like a storied career on Broadway and stuff, an 80-year career. So nah, she's Jack's mom.
Exhibit B, the watch that my son gave me for Christmas. Not the one I wanted, by the way.
But she totally did. She totally did. And now this is all, again, while she's still married to the Chris guy.
Hasn't seen him in years.
No, he's in Korea with the army. Now, this is where daughter Ashley, she's growing up a little bit. This is where she goes, nah, Mom, not on my watch. She calls up the dad and says, Dad, Mom's cheating on you. And he goes, okay, I'll get special leave so I can come bust her. Wasn't that kind of wild? He was allowed to come home just to bust her.
That was wild. And I didn't know that they would do that. Ashley's like, okay, I'll help you out. I'm going to get the locks changed.
This was nuts.
So that you have a key.
Yes.
And you can get in and catch them literally in bed together.
In the act.
So that my dad had a key. And I hid it under a rock outside.
I mean,
Amazing.
This is where I'm like, Ashley, well done. Well done.
I don't even know that I would think of that.
I know. Dude, same here. And it must have been the same handle because the mom
didn't
still
notice.
locked it.
Yeah. It must have been you just turn the little thing on the inside. But did Ashley have like a locksmith come out, or did she literally take apart?
No, she did it.
knob?
She did it like during a lunch break or something.
Amazing.
I'm super impressed she didn't. I wouldn't have thought of it, but I guess it is relatively simple for a bedroom door. You know what I mean? It's not like you're dealing with a door with a deadbolt or whatever. It's like, to outside. But well freaking done.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of Sarah realizing, because she had to go like, how'd you get in? And then she's probably like, oh, you did have that new doorknob smell. I should have known. Should have known. So he comes home, busts her, and says, oh, now we're getting divorced. He goes back to Korea. Also, I just, listen, bosses, real quick. I got to go home, bust my skank of a wife, and I'll be right back.
I feel like he didn't even sleep one night there.
No.
He went straight from the airport to the house, opened the door, saw them, went, okay, we're done, went right back to the airport.
Yeah. And instead of Sarah like begging forgiveness or having excuses, she says, oh, shoot, boy, timing. This is bad timing, but I
have cancer.
I have a brain tumor, kids. This is really bummer for you guys, but it turns out...
Sarah claimed, bizarrely, that her kids could be harmed by radiation from her treatment. So she skedaddled for 2 months.
So she takes her boyfriend and hits the road for 2 months.
Hits the road for some vacay.
Leaving Ashley in charge, who is what,
Yes.
13?
If.
You can't leave a child in charge for 2 months.
This is the stuff where I'm like, she is not right in the head. That she's like, okay, I just got busted cheating again. Oh, I know. Ooh, brain tumor, sorry. And you'll get radiation poisoning if you're near me. Bye, kids. I mean, jeez.
It's because he went back to Korea. Otherwise, she would have just tried to kill him.
Yeah.
So she was like, oh, I can't kill him. Okay, it's about me then. I have a brain tumor. Okay, bye.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's her go-to is fire and murder and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So without a window for those, she's like, I don't know what to do. Brain tumor. So they go on vacation. This is when David's mom meets her. It's early 2017. They move to a tiny hamlet. We've discussed these before. Another word for town, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Called Garfield. And is this in Minnesota? It's a farmhouse. And she and David get engaged, of course. She's still married to Chris at this point.
I love getting engaged before you're divorced. I love that.
Engaged to husband number 4, too. Like you know what I mean? It's just like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so question for you about this farmhouse. They're talking about how it's this cute little farmhouse, little 2-story number. What's up with the 5 red buildings around it? Were those theirs as well?
Yeah.
It was like a pole barn, a giant barn, a smaller barn.
Oh, yeah.
Were those were theirs too?
Those are...
Cool. That'd be sweet, huh?
It would be, but when we talk to her friend, this is where she's gushing about how gorgeous this farm was. And that she just made it so beautiful. And I'm looking at the picture of it, and it's all right. I don't think it's gorgeous by any means.
Yeah.
Certainly not very big.
Yeah, that's true.
And the house isn't like a cute vintage old farmhouse. It's got like a 1970s porch on the front.
Yeah, there's nothing too crazy about it. Okay, so she's happy here with David. But we learn from David's mom, things go a little awry because David's taking a little too long redoing up this house. Okay, and what is her solution for her lazy, good-for-nothing husband to keep him working?
Well, she's like, you need to be on like Mad Addies and Ritalin.
Yeah, Ritalin and energy drinks. And then to counter that, giving him Ambien at night.
To help him sleep because he's so hopped up on caffeine he can't sleep.
Yeah.
So basically, he's like a zombie.
I knew that David was making plans to leave her.
The last time I saw him, he kind of wanted out.
So things are falling apart. May 2018. We get a few different stories, but the gist of it is she gets in a fight with David. She storms out. She's got 2 guns in her knit sweater, which Hannah said was weird because guns are heavy.
Yeah.
Now, what does Sarah say unfolds when she goes in to talk to David? Because she's like, oh, I forgot something. Let me go in my sweater and my 2 guns. Do you remember this part?
It was very confusing. It was like she goes in and he's gonna come at her and the only thing she can do is self-defense, like take out one of the guns, but then one of the guns like gets away from her and then she's like, oh wait, I have another one, and then she shoots behind her or something. None of it makes sense.
When she hit the ground, that's when the other gun in the sweater pocket hit the ground also, and she remembered that she had a second gun.
And she says something kind of completely different to her son when he asks what happened. Fires blindly behind her, just boom, 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 boom. And the son says it was center mass, so she was not firing wildly.
No, she wasn't. But you could argue, I don't know, she's military. She's trained in ballistics. I don't know.
I guess.
Baloney.
Guess who buys this story?
The cops.
The cops. Also, the dead guy's mom, Elaine Stritch, is like, I bought it too. There were guns. It's kind of like,
but
all right.
She started to think about it after a while and realized if he had ever had a gun during their argument, he wouldn't have missed.
Yeah, she says that. He was a good shot. If he wanted to kill her, he would have hit her.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty funny. You're right. Good call. So already we're like, this is suspicious. Then we talked to Ashley. Before she had made the trip, she said, Ashley, daughter.
She told me if anything happens when I go back to Minnesota and I have to defend myself, call this person and tell them to come pick up the girls.
And Ashley's like, what's going to happen? Nothing bad's going to happen. She goes, just in case. And then next day she's in a shootout and kills somebody.
Uh-huh.
Huh. But again, nobody's asking questions.
Self-defense. Case closed.
They're theorizing why she did this. And that Ashley, the daughter, says, well, it's so she could get back. She was hoping that Chris, the husband, would come back to her. But then we find out that she had her sights set on the gas man.
How the hell did they know that I got gas?
So once again, we hear about this instant love connection between her and another man. The gas man showed up. He came walking down the driveway, and she was in love. Love at first sight. No, she wasn't.
Yeah.
She said, there's my next victim.
Yeah. Yeah. But the way that Hannah painted a picture that it was this tall, dark, and handsome man, and then we see him, and he is the most average-looking mofo you've ever seen in your life.
He's just some schlub.
He's just some schlub, David George. So now she loves this gas man, and a year after shooting David Bragg, David George becomes husband number 4. Okay. So now they're together. Husband number 3, Chris, had remarried. He moved away, and he was happy as can be. We see a photo of him with his new wife. They look like they're having fun. But they had a custody issue where, of course, Sarah's like not letting the kids see him and stuff. Like classic moves here. And so Ashley, the daughter, who I'm not sure if she still lived at home at this point, but her younger sister, Hannah, who was named after the friend Hannah.
Oh, yeah. That was nice.
Yeah. Hannah's like, sis, I've got a really bad story I don't want to tell you about, but I do. And do you remember, what is the story that this little sister says? What does she relay to Ashley about what's going on at the house of Sarah and George?
I have no idea.
She said, George told me he's not allowed back in the house until he kills Heather, Chris's new wife.
Right.
Okay. And what's Ashley's move?
I gotta call Dad and tell him.
Calls up Daddy-O. Again, Daughter of the Year award. She's friggin' doing it, right? And so, this was interesting. So you think like, well, that sounds crazy. Like, surely that's not going to be anything. And then we see some ring cam footage of a flower delivery. Tell us about this, Kate. What do we see unfold? This was pretty crazy.
It's ring camera footage from Chris's house in Arizona. We see a man with his face concealed walk up to the front door to deliver flowers. Chris answers. He delivers them. And then
says these are for your Meredith or whatever.
They're for your wife. Chris is like, what, is there no card? And he's like, and then he freaks out and he runs away.
Yeah. Like he's walking away and we hear him go, there's no card. And he goes, I'll look in the van. He didn't look in the van.
No.
He threw that in reverse and was out of there.
And we know that this is David George and that he drove all the way from Minnesota
to Arizona.
To Arizona to kill him or kill the wife.
Yeah.
And chickened out at the last second.
Yeah.
Yes, hello? Yeah, I had some flowers for Connie's.
The flowers were addressed to Chris's wife, Heather.
Look, I guess there's one thing we got to give Sarah credit for. She's true to her word.
She is.
She did not let George back in the house.
What happened after that to their relationship?
He wasn't allowed back in the house.
Now, she says it's because he had a cellular phone affair. Like, they word it in a really weird way. But she's like, he was cheating on me with some fling on his phone. It has nothing to do with this.
And
this attempted murder.
You know that poor man had no one on the side.
She kicked him out because of an online cellular phone affair he was having with another woman.
I see.
Sarah's like, damn you, daughter Ashley. Why don't you want me to be happy? Why'd you call the FBI on me? She didn't. That was Chris, right? That was the ex-husband called the FBI. And the FBI talks to George, and he's like, yeah, that's everything you just said is true. I did do that, right? Doesn't he fess up to it?
He does. And then he immediately recants it. And then case closed. Nothing to see.
Yeah, because they've got nothing else evidence-wise, I guess. But again, it just speaks to the power of Sarah. So now George is out of the picture. So now Sarah doesn't have a man. So she's on the prowl.
Gotta find husband number 5.
And this is where, again, Daughter of the Year steps in. Because she starts dating this guy who she called the man of her dreams.
She's on the apps.
Right?
Which is terrifying.
Terrifying. Yeah. What does daughter Ashley do?
She keeps telling these dudes about how Sarah's a psycho.
Yeah, she sends this guy's ex-wife a link to David Bragg's suspicious death and how the ruling was that it was accidental or whatever. How'd she know his ex-wife? Again, I say Ashley points here.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. Maybe something on Facebook.
Yeah, maybe. But so that gets broken up. And then this was wild. Then she starts dating a guy who has a criminal record. And so Sarah, I guess, didn't like him because she plies him with alcohol until he passes out, puts all her guns around him, and then calls the police because he's a felon. He's not allowed to have guns. Right?
Why not just break up with him?
What cuckoo? Why'd she do this?
She just like ruined.
The friend Hannah goes, I told her no more men. That's your takeaway here, Hannah?
That the men are the problem?
Like, what?
I actually said, no men. Stop with the men.
Oh,
I didn't
my God.
understand why Hannah was friends with her.
Great question. No idea. Because Hannah seemed too, like, nice and chill and, like just nice. Didn't she have a nice vibe to her?
And they'd known each other for decades. It wasn't like she's a very recent friend from work. It's like, no, she named her daughter after her.
Yeah, that's true. And Sarah's been crazy from the jump, too. So you're right. That's a good question of, like, what is it that they bonded on? So that guy gets arrested. So now we're back in present day. Now, Joe was on life support for 11 days, at which point eventually Sarah's like, oh, I hate to do it, but we got to pull the plug. But it's in these 11 days that Detective Skylar Rocks is finding out about all this Sarah stuff. So now she goes to talk to District Attorney Cheryl Leak Henry. And I like this lady, too. She says, guess what, Miss Rocks? You got yourself a case. Let's go bust this guy.
Yeah, she was cool.
So now the ball's rolling. Skylar goes back to the hospital. This is 5 days in. Sarah's in the hospital room with her poor husband, Joe. Says, Sarah, hey, I need your phone real quick. And Sarah's reaction, do you remember what Sarah's reaction is?
Oh, crap.
She says, oh, crap.
Like that.
And then she says, so here's the question. I don't have to give you this without a warrant, right?
She's like, girl, I have a warrant.
That must have felt so great. Because in Sarah's dumb head, she's like, I'm playing my ace card. I know things. I've seen CSI. You can't take it without a warrant, right? Oh, what's this right here?
And I said, I do have a warrant.
She just had no idea that they were on to her finally.
Yeah, and this was weird, is that she was like, okay, but can I finish this post real quick about Joe for Facebook? About how he had a stroke?
She didn't, but he didn't have a stroke.
No, but did she, I guess she let her do the post.
I guess.
Okay, so phone data comes in. And she had deleted some stuff. So she was not posting something on Facebook. She was frantically like trying to delete everything.
It also provides a timestamp of when those deletions happened.
Yeah. So phone data comes in. So according to her, the morning of Joe going through his stuff, she was not present because she had surgery or something and she was on a lot of meds and she was like knocked out. But that can't be true because she had taken between 9 and 174 steps in that window of time. Also, that notification that his blood sugar was low went off every 5 minutes.
So she would have seen it.
Yeah. And she had also ordered grocery delivery,
which we saw a photo of.
And then as soon as Joe goes into shock, she went into his phone. And this was new to me. This was a new feature.
And soon after Joe went into diabetic shock, Sarah changed his phone settings and made herself the beneficiary of his digital legacy.
Have you ever heard of this?
I have not.
This was interesting. This is like the new age, man.
New age.
Right?
This is...
Oh, don't you think? This is the future.
Isn't this 10 years ago?
This is 2023. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought the trial was 2023.
No, the trial was October of 2025.
Oh, okay.
That's why they did a refresher. But weren't you impressed? I feel like this... I didn't know this was a feature.
I'm surprised she knew how to do it.
So she had changed that. And this was... She texted her daughter... This was the part that I was dying, Kate. This was the part that made me laugh. Is while she's asleep, supposedly, she texts her daughter and says, ugh, I had to sleep on the couch because Joe snores. And she had sent a little recording of Joe snoring in the text. And they cut to a blank gray screen where it's usually they're going to put up like the transcription of a police call or something, right? And nothing fills the screen. We hear a single... And then we're back to the story.
It was pretty pointless.
Oh my God, I'm lightheaded right now. I could not believe it. They went to all. They didn't even let him finish. It was one half of a honk shoe. Just. That's it.
Sarah texted her daughter that Joe snored so much she had to sleep on the couch, and attached a recording as proof.
But that also puts the cell phone in her hand.
Now that this all happens, This is when Skylar goes back to her bosses, and they're like, okay, I guess you do have a point.
All right, maybe she is crazy.
Yeah. They get everything rolling. February 2023, she is arrested. She had a suitcase on her chair like she's ready to pack up and go. This was another great Keith line. Keith goes,
Sarah Hartsfield wouldn't be needing that where she was heading now. Clothing is provided.
Where do you think she wanted to go? Where do you think she was planning on going?
Arizona to kill Chris. I just imagine she wants to kill somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's got to be something nuts. So Sarah calls her daughter Ashley, says, ooh, I was arrested. This is when we start getting texts from Sarah in jail. This cracked me up. Now, Keith is via text being like, what do you have to say for yourself? Do you remember what she leads with when she says why she didn't do any of these things?
Mm-mm.
She starts it by going, she has a distinguished military career and she has top secret clearance.
No,
oh my God,
no, We've seen this before.
Talk about a red flag. Yes. Yes.
She doesn't have any of those things. She enlisted in the Army. Enlisted.
Yeah.
She's not an officer. She doesn't have shit.
When people throw around this thing of like, of course I didn't murder that person. I have top secret clearance in the military. Did I tell you that? That is always such a red flag of like, oh, you're a liar straight up. I'll never trust anything you ever say. It's so disgusting to me.
She wrote from the jail that she is a 20-year combat veteran of the Army who had a top secret security clearance.
Okay, we're asking you about why you tried to kill 4 out of your 5 husbands. Right? No, I think all 5. All 5, right? Because her first husband, Titus, she was going to set his house on fire.
Mm-hmm. She tried to kill all 5.
All right. So now is when we're hearing that phone call that they had teased from the beginning. Are you my friend? Will you protect me? This is Sarah to her kid, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, who has done nothing but throw her mom under the bus, rightfully so. And she is, for some reason, going, Ashley, can I count on you for character witness or something?
And Ashley's like, Mom, I don't know.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what you're trying to ask me here. Like,
I care about what you think.
Okay, trial time. There are probably 4 kids total. There's 3 girls and 1 boy. All 4 of these kids testify against the mom.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. Yet again, this is just like anti-Ashley Howard stuff where they couldn't wait to talk bad about their mom. Oh.
I want to say, I felt like the lawyers on both sides of this case were really bad.
I kind of like the prosecutor. You weren't crazy about the prosecutor, huh?
She was like, I can't tell you why or how.
Yeah.
Because killers don't want you to know how, or something that just sounded like a little kid said it. Like little kid logic.
Kate,
also,
absolutely.
Don't tell the jury that you can't give them the answer.
I was thinking that same thing, and I wrote that part down specifically because because we've seen this before too, where the cops are like, we're not going to have your DNA evidence. We're not going to have your eyewitnesses. And it's like, stop telling them what you don't have.
Uh-huh.
And she uses his own hand to do it. I can't tell you that. And there's a reason I can't tell you that. Because murderers hide how they murder people generally.
Right.
Swing and a miss there.
Really bad.
It's a little weird.
Really bad. I don't know if she was nervous or what, but then the defense attorney, the guy, he was just as awkward. The stuff he was saying was like, Did you rehearse this first?
Yeah, dude, great call. He looks down at his notes for the final line of his closing argument.
And kind of flubs it.
You got to be off book for the final sentence.
Uh-huh.
You've got to be off book for this part, dude.
Yep.
Also, this dum-dum says, I've never seen a homicide where the ME report says undetermined. Is this your first case, bro?
It happens all the time.
All the time. All the time it gets switched back and forth. I mean, we just covered 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a homicide with an ME report where it comes back as undetermined.
Oh, that annoyed the hell out of me. And then also, the defense team hired a PI to help them win the case. Now, it turns out Sarah's way too strong-headed for any of this. Tell us about this PI. This was a character. This was your bit?
This, to me, is the person who was in the running for All-Star.
Really?
I loved her. She had me dying. She was so funny. She has plants in every courtroom. She's got eyes and ears. She wants people watching and studying and picking up on vibes. That's her whole job. And this reminded me so much of the Good Wife. This is like a Good Wife tactic.
Oh, really?
Where they've got someone whose job is solely to just do some shady observation.
Yeah. Yeah, and she has the thickest of thick Southern accents. And she is really okay, she had a lot of great points that I liked. One is she told her, Sarah, don't walk in with that Bible.
No one.
And Sarah said, no, I'm going to do it.
And she was like, girl, no one's going to believe you. That is fake.
Bringing that Bible in that first day, I looked at her and I said, no. Yes, I am. I said, no. I said, that's nothing more than a prop. And I said, people are going to read right through you.
And then Sarah's dumbass was all set to testify. And this is when your girl goes up to her and goes, listen, you've never listened to anything I've ever said, but you're going to shut your mouth and open your ears for this one.
If
right?
you think that the prosecutor is just going to go up there and ask you a couple questions and send you on your way, you got another thing coming.
Yeah.
I told her, you've never listened to one dadgum thing that I've told you, but this is one time you better open your ears and shut your mouth.
I mean, and she's dead right, too. It's like, they would love to get you on the stand, Sarah, because like we say, this female prosecutor's not going to be swayed by this supposed, charm.
Mm-mm. None of these women are.
None of it's going to fly.
Even this woman who's on her defense team is like, you're full of shit.
Yes. Yeah. And then so she's found guilty, and it's so funny because it takes an hour of deliberation, and part of that deliberation was lunch.
She says they order lunch in that hour, and Skylar's like, yeah. And he laughs, and she's like, no, they literally did.
Yeah. And this is when I had to do a double take on the PI because she was excited she was found guilty. And I was like, whose side are you on, lady? Because she's like...
She's on the side of whoever pays her.
She is, but as soon as the guilty verdict in, she goes, good, because then she can't start any fires. She says some line about...
Right. She was like, I'm glad that she lost because otherwise she would try to burn my house down.
Yeah, and then she says a line, which I'm on the fence about. My first reaction was no good. But now the way that you're liking this lady, maybe I'm on board. What did she say?
This is what made me laugh the most. She was like, but I don't have to worry about that because I carry a pew-pew.
Yeah. And the way you say it's funny.
I actually got annoyed at Keith because he's all dumb about it. A pew-pew? Keith, come on, you know what she meant. We all knew what she meant. It's funny. Leave the joke where it is. Don't make them repeat it. Then it's less funny. You hit him with the pew-pew. Mic drop.
I mean, I carry a pew-pew, so, I mean, it don't bother me.
You carry a what?
Pew-pew. Sorry.
It's funny. I wasn't as sold on this lady as you are.
She reminds me so much of my friend's mom, who is from South Carolina.
Yeah. Does she carry a pew-pew?
Yes.
Does she really?
Yeah.
All right. She's guilty. Now we've got to have a new trial for the sentence. And guess what? The kids are back at it. Give her the longest sentence possible because we hate her. Mm-hmm. Again, this is the part where kids usually go like, I love my mom and I want to share. I want her at my wedding.
Mm-hmm. They're like, no.
Kids say, nope. Oh, so good. Now is when they start dropping bombs of previous Sarah crimes. Because now that she's guilty for this, the David Bragg people are like, well, okay, well, maybe David Bragg was murdered. And then this was the thing that they threw in last second about George, the fourth husband. His wife of 25 years.
Not long after Sarah met George, Rebecca suddenly died. Oh, and 7 months later, the house he'd shared with Rebecca burned down.
Another fire. Crazy.
It's crazy.
I don't think I'd be able to do that. All right. But I thought it was a fun time with Keith. He had some fun parts. Didn't this kind of feel like in this day and age, it's a great Dateline. It should be a down the line Dateline. Mm-hmm. But this was a good old Dateline here tonight.
Yeah, he didn't do any B-roll. He didn't do any walk and talk. He didn't do any leaning.
True. That's why I was thinking we got to do that other one with AC because she visited like 3 people in jail.
True.
Well, I think it's time for those lists. What do you got?
Kate's unnamed list. Well, Sarah joined the military. She joined the army.
A lot of military stuff going on here.
Mm-hmm. A lot of back and forth to Korea and was it Iraq?
Yep.
And that's it for my list.
On to Kurt's Kick-Ass List.
Kick-Ass List.
Keith, in a bumped commercial, goes,
more like a horror movie.
Classic list item that Keith has said a billion times.
Mm-hmm.
More, and he said it with such gravitas too. More like a horror movie. Love it. I'm also counting The Trouble with Sarah because I assume they're referencing The Trouble with Harry, the 1955 Shirley MacLaine Hitchcock picture. What do you think? You think that's what they're reffing?
Might be.
There is a 1970s TV movie called The Initiation of Sarah. Maybe they're reffing that. Okay. Well, I guess that's going to do it. This was a long one.
Uh-huh.
Well, on that note, I'm Kurt Money.
I'm Kateline.
nah, this ain't legit.